kicking the shit out of him. Because they're like, hey, 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 you've betrayed us, you've given that... Nope, nope. He comes back to become normal Optimus Prime. Megatron turns up, boots him around a bit, takes the staff, says, look, I knew you could never do this. We're taking this staff because we're saving Cybertron, because with this staff we can give it to Quintessa and she will bring back Planet Cybertron back to life. So he goes off with the staff to Quintessa. Then the Knights arrive and start beating up Optimus Prime. It's a bad day for Optimus Prime. But then they're about to execute him, where Marky Mark just goes, finds his power, and this amulet turns into a sword, and he blocks an oncoming sword blow from one of these big knights and goes, no, listen, Optimus Prime's okay now, and he's the only one who can get that staff back, so we need to go with Prime and do stuff. And meanwhile, Anthony Hopkins is on the phone to Seymour Simmons. I keep saying when I say Skinner. But he's from The Simpsons. So he got on the phone and they're like trying to find this. They found this book, and the book, it turns out, dun dun dun, Planet Earth is actually Unicron. And so they want Cybertrons coming to planet Earth to suck the power out of planet Earth. Cybertron is trying to eat Unicron. Now, I think it's normally the other way around. But whatever. It's the conceit of this movie that Cybertron wants, the Quintessa in particular, wants to kill Unicron, the Chaos Bringer, the Dark God of Transformers. Whatever. And it's the movie verse. It might be Unicron might be a nice guy in this one. We don't know. So these horns coming up from planet Earth that now they form this circle. And when you think about Pangea, where the continents originally were, we realise that in the centre of that is Stonehenge. Dun, dun, dun. The mystery finally revealed of what Stonehenge is for. It is the orbital site where the thingamabob should hover to bring the ignition chamber to start the doohickey that sucks planet Earth dry. That's the thing. It really is. So, what else is going on other than that? So that's the going to. It gets very. I'm not even sure what's happening now. They're going to Stonehenge now with the ship and the other Autobots from the first half of the film. They've now shown up in the spaceship that Day Trader found, but for some reason they didn't bring the Dinobots with them because they could have been useful at this moment in time. So they decide that they're gonna go and stop Quintessa. So they have to go up into Cybertron to the ignition chamber to get the staff, and only the girl who's the woman who's the descendant from Merlin can take the staff. So they have to go with her and all the military. They decide that they're going to put the helicopters onto the spaceship to go up to Cybertron, because it's in the Earth's atmosphere. It's still in Earth's atmosphere, but it's very high up. It's too high for the helicopters to go. So they're going to put the helicopters into the spaceship, and then the helicopters are going to come off the spaceship and go crash onto Cybertron. And then they're going to use parachute down. It's a plan. It's a plan. So they do that. Optimus Prime decides to go off on his own first. You know, I'm going to go off. I'm going to get a head start. You guys do that plan. So they get up into space. Well, not into space. Up near the ignition chamber. Optimus Prime hasn't turned up yet. He's obviously his head start didn't really work. So they have a big fight, and there's a big Infernicus, who's this Decepticon combiner guy who looks like the devil. and Megatron, some of the other guys, and a gun emplacement, and they start having this scrap. It's quite cool. And then they realise that Optimus Prime's not turned up. They're pinned down. They're gonna lose. There's too much. The fight. The odds are too much against them. So they need another plan. And this physics guy from NASA, who keeps showing up in the film, comes up with this idea that if they shoot some bits off the planet here, this bit of land here, hit that physics, bang, knock the ignition chamber off the planet, hey, everyone will be safe. So they do that, and the ignition chamber, well, they do that, but the Optimus Prime does turn up. He does a very movie Optimus Prime thing of decapitating about 6 people with one sword swing. You'll never beat that Optimus Prime, honestly. I think that is his best decapitation in Transformer movies, but he didn't have a funny line to go with it. Like, give me all your heads. Even though he did say that I'm gonna force my way into her chamber, or something like that. Yeah. So they're doing this thing where it swings and knocks the ignition chamber in. Meanwhile, the other guys, the woman and Marky Mark and the Autobots have gone into the ignition chamber to fight Quintessa and Megatron and some other assorted villains. So they're having a big fight in there while it gets knocked off the planet and it's circling. Everyone's falling. Falling this way, falling that way. She can't get hold of the staff until Bumblebee boots her to Marky Mark, who then throws her at the staff. She grabs the staff. Yeah, it stops the thingamabob. Megatron gets kicked out. He doesn't die. Gets kicked out of the thing, and Optimus is fighting this Quintessa person, who then gets Bumblebee, gets him in the back, and then they disappear. But the world is saved, even though like Cybertron's there, like next to planet Earth. So there's no way that I'm not quite sure what happened to the moon. There's no way that is planetary bodies, gravity stuff. There's way that's fucked up, man. That is fucked up. But the world's saved. That is pretty much it. There's a bit kind of thing where we see Quintessa in the guise of a human goes to another guy who's near one of the Unicron horns and goes, I wouldn't touch that. He doesn't like being touched, but I can tell you a way that you can kill him. And that's Transformers 5 The Last Night. I say, it's a bloated mess, but it is fun. Now, I'm getting a bit hoarse just from saying all that. It's... What's... I don't really know how I feel about this film. I loved it. I loved how much fun it is. I love just some of the sections in it. As someone who's studied writing, it's an abomination. I think at times it's just it's this mess of just ideas and stuff that they don't give enough, because they've got so many ideas crammed in there. There's not enough time for some of them to have a payoff. Cogsworth, whatever his name is this great character, and we've got this promise that he's mentioned in past that he's a headmaster. He never transforms. I think when you've got a robot character in a Transformer film, they should transform at some point. They should be a Transformer. And I think because that loses some of the fun of them being a Transformer. I think it was a section where he would have become the head for Anthony Hopkins' car. Would have been marvellous. There's a character in this called Bulldog, who's this old British tank guy. He's in it for like 2 seconds. He's got robot dementia. He looked like a great character. Probably be a great toy, but could have been used more of that on. There's just random robots that appear. I think there's one that looks like it possibly could transform into a Spitfire, but it kind of just falls over, and that's all we ever see of it. And so there's all these great ideas that just never have chance to ruminate. I would have watched a film that was just Megatron's Suicide Squad. That would just been brilliant. I'd watch the shit out of Michael Bay doing a film that's just the King Arthur legend, but with Transformers. I'd watch the shit out of a film about some young girl who's in the post-apocalyptic Transformers setting, who's trying to survive from day to day with a couple of robot friends. I think would be a fantastic film. A film about Marky Mark trying to save a few Transformers in this junkyard that's constantly under siege from, either the government or Decepticons trying to take stuff from them or trying to kill them. That'd be a brilliant film. A treasure hunt across Europe, trying to find some ancient Transformer artifacts. Again, would be a great film. All of them crammed into the same movie, I'm not sure about. But this is enjoyable. It's a roller coaster ride. It's enjoyable. IMAX 3D is stunning. You see, you always say that you turn your brain off to watch some of these movies, but sometimes it's actually better to keep your brain working because they do actually give you things to think about and actually kind of go, well, I kind of like this narrative point and I like this narrative point, but I didn't really earn that narrative point. And I think it's fascinating how it's all come together or not come together. It's just a great, glorious thing. Now, I think I've spoken too long about this, so join me next time. Bloody hell, I have been talking too long. Fisto!